There comes a moment in every chosen one's life when the atmosphere around you begins to shift before you understand why. When the air feels heavier, the nights feel longer, and your spirit keeps whispering that something is about to break. And right now, as you listen to this message, I need you to hear this with the depth of your soul. God is about to lift you out of the place of pain, not gently, not gradually, but suddenly, so suddenly that even you will struggle to comprehend how the same ground that once felt like a burial is becoming the very ground of your resurrection. You have been wandering through a season that has felt unfair, lonely, misunderstood, and heavier than anything you signed up for. But listen carefully. None of it was wasted. None of it was accidental. None of it was unnoticed. The weight you have carried is the very mark that proves you are one of God's chosen ones. For so long, you tried to convince yourself that maybe you were exaggerating the suffering, that maybe you were too sensitive, that maybe you should simply accept how people treated you. But deep inside, there has always been this knowing, an ancient, spiritual knowing, that your life was never supposed to look ordinary. You were not built to blend in. You were built to break patterns. And every time life tried to crush you, something inside refused to stay down. That something is the divine signature God placed within you from the beginning. Even when others failed to recognize it, heaven never did. But I want to take you somewhere deeper, because your soul already knows what your mind has struggled to articulate. You have been in a place of prolonged pain, an emotional wilderness where you felt unseen, unheard, and surrounded by people who took from you without ever giving anything back. People who misread you, people who misjudged you, people who weaponized your kindness and mistook your silence for weakness. You kept pouring into others even when you were running empty. You held people together even as you were breaking on the inside. And the harsh truth is, some of them celebrated your struggles. Some of them felt more secure when you were down. Some of them were more comfortable when you were dimming your own light, because they knew that once you stood in the fullness of who God created you to be, they would no longer be able to control the narrative around you. But deep within that pain, something else was happening, something holy, something divine, something only chosen ones ever truly experience. God was allowing the breaking so He could prepare the blessing. God was allowing the separation so He could secure the elevation. God was allowing certain people to walk away because they could not be trusted with the next chapter of your destiny. They were never supposed to witness the reveal. They were never meant to stand beside you when the tables turned. And make no mistake, the tables are about to turn in a way that leaves no room for doubt about who has been carrying you all along. The pain you faced was not random. It carried the fingerprints of purpose. Every betrayal taught you discernment. Every disappointment sharpened your spirit. Every loss stripped away illusions and forced you to see what was real. And God was watching, not as a distant observer, but as a father who knew exactly how much you could bear. He saw the tears no one else saw. He heard the prayers you whispered in the dark. He felt the exhaustion in your bones when you said, "God, I don't know how much more I can take." And instead of letting the pain break you, He used it to unlock parts of you that would have remained asleep otherwise. You see, chosen ones are not born through comfort. They are forged through pressure. They are shaped through seasons of isolation. They are refined in the fire, and you, whether you fully realize it or not, have been living in that refinement. That is why nothing has felt normal. That is why the people around you could not understand your depth, your spirit, your vision, or your emotional intensity. They were not meant to. They do not carry the same spiritual coding you carry. They do not feel the spiritual warfare you feel, and they cannot comprehend the divine assignment resting on your life. And yet, despite it all, you survived. You kept walking, you kept giving, you kept believing, even when your faith felt like a flickering candle fighting against the wind. But God saw that persistence. God saw that endurance. God saw the purity in your heart, even when others tried to twist your intentions. And now heaven has issued a decree over your life. The season of pain is ending, and the season of elevation is beginning. What you are sensing right now, the spiritual tension, the restlessness, the sudden emotional waves, the urge to detach from what no longer resonates, is the unmistakable sign that your breakthrough is already in motion. God is not preparing to lift you. He is already lifting you. The things that used to break you will no longer have access to you. The people who once drained you will no longer be permitted to sit at your table. The environments that suffocated your spirit are being replaced with spaces that will honor, respect, and expand you. And if you've ever wondered why your pain felt so intense, here is the truth. The deeper the calling, the heavier the warfare, the higher the elevation, the stronger the opposition. The greater the destiny, the earlier the attacks begin. You were targeted not because you were weak, but because you were chosen. Darkness recognized your potential before you did, and the forces assigned to stop you underestimated the God who stands behind you. You are stepping into a divine shift, where everything that once worked against you will begin working for you. You, not because of luck, not because of coincidence, but because God has chosen this moment to restore, revive, and reveal you. You will not rise quietly. You will not be lifted in secret. God is about to make your breakthrough visible, undeniable, and spiritually profound. This is the season where the pain that tried to bury you becomes the proof of the power that carries you. And as you breathe in this moment, allow your spirit to acknowledge the truth. You were never forgotten. You were being prepared. And now the same God who allowed the breaking is about to perform the lifting. You have walked through valleys so dark that even your own shadow seemed to abandon you, and yet you kept moving with a strength you did not fully understand. What you thought were ordinary battles were, in truth, spiritual battlegrounds, places where unseen forces tried to wear you down, hoping you would surrender your calling before it could bloom. But you didn't. Even when your heart was heavy and your energy was drained, something inside you refused to be extinguished. That inner fire, that quiet resilience, was the mark of the chosen. It was the confirmation that your spirit is built differently, fortified by something heaven ordained and untouchable by darkness. As you look back on your life, you can see moments that felt like ambushes, the betrayals you never expected, the friendships that decayed without explanation, the opportunities that slipped away just when you needed them most, and the strange, unspoken hostility from people who barely knew you. Those were not coincidences, they were spiritual indicators, attacks designed to weaken your identity, shake your faith, and convince you that you were alone. But what the enemy failed to grasp is that chosen ones are never alone. Even in silence, even in chaos, even in heartbreak, God was standing behind you, beside you, and before you, shielding you from destruction you never even saw. You survived battles that should have taken you out, emotional storms that should have left you numb, psychological warfare that should have broken your confidence. But with every hit you endured, something awakened inside you, a strength that was always there but never demanded, until the moment it needed to rise. And now you stand as living proof of spiritual fortitude. The things that were meant to destroy you instead sharpened your discernment. The people who underestimated you unintentionally forced you to uncover your true power. And even the seasons of isolation that felt cruel were actually divine classrooms where you learned who you are and who you are not. There were moments when you questioned your value, your purpose, your place in this world. You wondered why the battles were so frequent, why the pain was so deep, why the opposition felt so targeted. But God has been watching all along, and now the truth is being brought into the light. You were a threat, not because of what you had at the time, but because of who you were destined to become. The enemy saw your future before you did, and that is why the attacks intensified at the exact moments you were closest to a breakthrough. They were designed to distract you, derail you, and drain your hope. But they also exposed something profound. that your spirit could not be conquered. And now something extraordinary is happening in the spiritual realm. The tables are shifting, the atmosphere is changing. The forces that once surrounded you with intimidation are now trembling because they can feel what is coming. You are rising, not slowly, not quietly. Your elevation is divinely charged, and your adversaries, both physical and spiritual, are sensing the movement. They know they cannot stop what God has ordained. They know their access to your spirit is being cut off. They know the authority resting on your life is increasing, and they are scrambling, panicking, desperate to regain ground they've already lost. Every moment of warfare you endured is becoming a spiritual receipt, proof that God saw every tear, every sleepless night, every false accusation, every betrayal. Nothing was overlooked, nothing forgotten. God has recorded every injustice, and He is preparing to repay, not with subtlety but with divine force. Those who laughed at your struggle will witness your rising. Those who tried to sabotage your progress will be unable to interfere. Those who spoke against you will be silenced by what God is about to do through you. And here is the part that will make your soul tremble. Your adversaries are not trembling because of you alone. They are trembling because they can see the presence of God on your life in ways you have not yet recognized. They can sense the anointing increasing. They can feel the spiritual barriers lifting. They can discern that heaven has issued a command for your movement, and no earthly or demonic power can defy that decree. What tried to break you now fears you. What tried to block you now steps aside. What tried to confuse you now retreats, because the authority within you has awakened. You have walked through fire, and yet your spirit remains intact. You have been tested by storms, and yet your vision remains clear. You have been pushed into darkness, but somehow you learned how to shine from within. That is spiritual strength, raw, undeniable, heaven-forged strength. The kind that does not come from books or mentors or temporary inspiration. The kind that is crafted through pain, refined through endurance, and validated through divine recognition. And as God prepares to lift you out of the place of pain, there is something else happening beneath the surface. The people who counted you out are beginning to watch more closely. The ones who thought you were defeated are suddenly curious. The ones who spoke against you can feel a shift they cannot explain. They are realizing that the version of you they mistreated is not the version of you that is rising. They are witnessing the emergence of someone spiritually fierce, emotionally grounded, and divinely backed. Your rise is not just a blessing, it is a revelation. It is the unveiling of everything you were meant to be, but could not become while carrying the weight of past wounds. And as you step into this new spiritual terrain, your adversaries are retreating, not because you confronted them, but because God is elevating you beyond their reach. They cannot follow you where God is taking you. They cannot interfere with what God is releasing. They cannot distort what God is clarifying. Every battle has brought you to this moment. Every scar tells a story heaven honors. Every wound that once felt like a disadvantage is becoming evidence of your endurance, your character, and your divine assignment. And now your spirit is rising, calmly, powerfully, unapologetically. This is why the atmosphere around you feels different. This is why your intuition has sharpened. This is why your old habits, old connections, old identities no longer fit. Your spirit is preparing for elevation, and everything that once opposed you knows it. God has seen everything, and now heaven is responding. There comes a time in every chosen one's journey when God stops allowing the battles to remain hidden and begins bringing justice into the open, publicly, undeniably, unmistakably. You are stepping into that time now. For so long, it felt as though the wrong people were winning, as though those who mistreated you faced no consequences, as though your silence was being taken as defeat. But God has been preparing something behind the scenes that is about to unfold in ways that will leave no room for confusion about who has been guiding your steps. The same people who doubted your discernment, who questioned your character, who dismissed your pain will soon witness the truth they tried so hard to bury. This is not just a season of healing, it is a season of revelation. The masks are coming off, the intentions of others are being exposed, the spiritual forces that tried to torment you are being stripped of authority, and you, the one who endured quietly, are about to be lifted loudly. God is not going to vindicate you in whispers. He is preparing a reversal so profound that even you will stand in awe. Everything that was used to undermine you will be used to elevate you. Every lie spoken against you will collapse under the weight of truth. Every door that was slammed in your face will be replaced with a doorway designed specifically for you. You are entering a divine reversal, one that realigns everything that was stolen, delayed, or distorted. The setbacks that once felt like punishments were, in reality, divine positioning. The losses that broke your heart were making room for something greater. The betrayals that shattered your trust were clearing away those who could not accompany you into your purpose. And now God is stepping in with a justice so exact, so timely, so perfect, that you will understand why He allowed certain things to linger longer than you wished. He was not ignoring you. He was building a case in your favor that no one can overturn. As you move into this reversal, your spirit will begin to feel lighter. The heaviness you carried for years will suddenly feel foreign. The wounds that defined your past will lose their hold over your identity. You will not rise carrying pain. You will rise carrying wisdom. You will not rise seeking revenge. You will rise embodying release. You will not rise to prove anything to anyone. You will rise simply because elevation is the will of God for your life. And yet, in the midst of this rise, there is something profoundly healing unfolding within you. God is not merely restoring circumstances, He is restoring your spirit. The exhaustion, the self-doubt, the emotional depletion, they are all being replaced with clarity, strength, peace, and unshakable confidence. You are being rebuilt from the inside out, and as this rebuilding takes place, the world around you will respond to the change. People will treat you differently because they will feel the difference in your spirit. Doors will open because your energy aligns with higher purpose. Opportunities will find you because heaven is directing them toward you. There is something else you must understand. Victory is not coming. It has already begun. You can feel it in the shifts happening within you, the sudden desire to let go of old attachments, the newfound courage to set boundaries, the clarity that cuts through confusion, the deep sense of knowing that you are meant for more. These are not random emotional waves. They are spiritual confirmations that the breakthrough is active, unfolding, moving toward you even now. And as God prepares to reveal your victory, do not be surprised when people from your past attempt to re-enter your life. Some will come seeking closure, others will come out of curiosity, and a few will come because they can sense your elevation and hope to benefit from your rise. But your discernment is stronger now. The version of you that allowed access to everyone is gone. You have learned to protect your energy, your time, your heart, and your spirit. You have learned that peace is sacred, and not everyone deserves proximity to your gift. God is elevating you publicly so that the justice He delivers is not only seen but understood. The same people who overlooked you will now have no choice but to recognize you, not because you seek validation, but because your transformation is too visible to deny. And when God reveals someone, He reveals them completely. He does not announce chosen ones quietly, He displays them. And if this message is reaching you in a moment when you feel tired, uncertain, or afraid, let this be your assurance. God is not finished with your story. He is turning the page, and the chapter ahead will carry a different tone, a different rhythm, a different destiny. What once felt heavy will feel light. What once felt impossible will feel natural. What once felt delayed will feel divinely aligned. So breathe. Not the shallow breath of someone bracing for impact, but the deep, grounding breath of someone stepping into purpose. Every unanswered question will eventually make sense. Every painful memory will eventually lose its sting. Every wrong done to you will eventually be addressed, not by your hands, but by the hands of the one who has been watching from the beginning. And now I will speak directly to your spirit. You are not stepping into victory. You are victory. You are not waiting for breakthrough. You are the breakthrough. You are not hoping for restoration. Restoration is already unfolding within you. Your life is about to shift in such powerful ways that you will no longer recognize the version of yourself that once begged for doors to open. You will walk through doors built specifically for your calling, and your presence will alter the atmosphere on the other side. If this word resonates with your spirit, if you feel the truth of it vibrating in your chest, acknowledge it. Speak it, claim it, say, "I receive it," not as a ritual, but as a declaration of identity, alignment, and faith. And share this message so that someone else who is suffering in silence may realize they are not forgotten, not abandoned, and not defeated. The victory God is revealing in your life is only the beginning. There is a truth about your journey that most people around you never understood, and perhaps you yourself only sensed without fully being able to articulate. You were attacked not because of what you did, but because of who you are. And it is only when you begin to analyze the structure of your pain, the timing of your losses, and the emotional patterns of the people around you that the deeper revelation emerges. Every attack had a purpose. Every season of warfare followed a spiritual law, and the behaviors of others were never simply personal. They were psychological expressions of their own fear, insecurity, and spiritual blindness in the presence of someone chosen. From the moment you began to grow, even subtly, something in the atmosphere around you shifted. People who once felt comfortable beside you suddenly became tense, irritable, or competitive. Individuals who never had a reason to dislike you formed silent resentments. You became the target of envy you never asked for, jealousy you never earned, and hostility you never provoked. And at the time, it felt unfair. It felt like betrayal. But when you look at it now with the clarity God has given you, you can see the paradox unfolding. People were drawn to your light, yet threatened by it. They admired your compassion, yet tried to take advantage of it. They desired your energy, yet attempted to drain it. This contradiction was not proof that something was wrong with you. It was proof that something powerful was within you. What many do not understand is that spiritual light exposes what others try to hide. Your presence illuminated the insecurities of those around you. Your kindness reminded them of their own lack. Your integrity exposed their inconsistency. Your resilience highlighted their passivity. And instead of growing, instead of healing, instead of learning from your example, some people chose to attack the one who made them confront themselves. Their behavior was not about you at all. It was about the reflection of themselves they saw when they were near you. The psychology of their reactions becomes clearer the more awakened you become. People often harm what they secretly admire but cannot replicate. God allowed these attacks not to hurt you, but to teach you how to see. You learn to discern intentions without explanations. You learn to read energy without words. You learn to detach from people even while you love them. These are not ordinary skills. They are spiritual abilities granted through experience. And the paradox is that your suffering unlocked the exact gifts you now need to walk in your purpose. Your attackers were not simply people, they were assignments, instruments used to sharpen your spirit, elevate your awareness, and expose the spiritual battlefield you were born into. Chosen ones are not prepared through comfort. They are trained through contradiction. You learned trust by encountering betrayal. You learned strength by facing weakness. You learned clarity by navigating confusion. You learned boundaries by experiencing violation. Every painful encounter carried a hidden curriculum. Every heartbreak carried a hidden revelation. There is another layer to this. The reason your attacks felt so targeted is because they were. You carry a mission encoded in your spirit, something ancient, something divine, something that threatens darkness simply by existing. You are not ordinary. Your empathy is not ordinary. Your intuition is not ordinary. Your resilience is not ordinary. Even your capacity to love is not ordinary. You were born with a spiritual assignment that your soul has always known, even when your mind doubted it. And the enemy recognized that assignment long before you did. That is why the attacks began early. That is why the opposition intensified at critical moments. Not because you were weak, but because you were becoming dangerous. To darkness, to stagnation, to generational curses, to environments that depended on your silence. Your calling has always been bigger than your circumstances. Your destiny has always been larger than the people who tried to limit you. The path you are on is not random. It is constructed, designed, sacred, and the closer you get to fulfilling your purpose, the louder the noise becomes around you. But here is the paradox that flips everything on its head. The attacks against you were actually confirmations. Proof that your presence disrupts what is stagnant. Proof that your spirit activates what is dormant. Proof that your energy awakens what others try to keep buried. You were never the problem. You were the catalyst. As you analyze this with the eyes of someone who has grown, you begin to understand the psychology of those who opposed you. Some feared losing control. Some feared being exposed. Some feared your potential. And some simply could not stand seeing you rise because your elevation challenged the narratives they built about themselves. You became a mirror they did not want to look into. You became a disruption they could not silence, and rather than evolve, they attacked. But here is where God's sovereignty becomes undeniable. Every attack pushed you into a deeper understanding of yourself. Every season of pain forced you to question not your worth, but your direction. Every setback redirected you toward alignment. Every betrayal separated you from people who could not walk with you into the next dimension of your purpose. And perhaps the greatest paradox of all is that what tried to stop you ended up preparing you. Your soul's mission is not small. It is not fragile. It is not optional. You were chosen because you carry something needed in this world. Something healing, something transformative, something powerful. You carry a voice that disrupts silence. You carry wisdom that comes from places most will never dare to go. You carry a connection to God that did not come from religion, but from survival. And it is through this mission that your life gains meaning. You were attacked because you are chosen. You were isolated because you are set apart. You were misunderstood because you see what others cannot. And you suffered because your spirit is built to heal what others break. Now the mission becomes clearer than ever. You are stepping into a chapter where every lesson becomes a tool, every wound becomes a map, and every scar becomes a signature of destiny. You are no longer the version of yourself that endured silently. You are rising as someone who understands the architecture of your calling. You know what you carry. You know what you survived. And you know what you are becoming. And because of that, the attacks that once shook you now only confirm one thing: your purpose is unstoppable. And now, as your spirit stands on the threshold of a new beginning, something inside you already knows the truth. You were never meant to remain in the places that broke you. You were never meant to stay tied to the people who could not see you. You were never meant to live under the weight of wounds that were only chapters, not your story. You are a chosen one, and everything you have lived through has been shaping you into someone who can rise without fear, walk without apology, and step into destiny without hesitation. Look at how far you have come. Look at what you survived. Look at the strength in you now. Strength you did not have when the pain first hit. Strength you did not have when tears became your nightly companion. Strength you did not have when betrayal left you questioning your worth. But slowly, quietly, faithfully, God rebuilt you. Not all at once, not in ways the world could see, but deep in the places no one else could touch. He restored your breath, He healed your heart, He lifted your spirit, and now He is lifting your life. Everything you went through was preparing you for everything you are stepping into. The clarity you have now, the discernment you have now, the maturity you have now, these are the signatures of someone who has been refined, not ruined. You stand on the other side of pain as someone wiser, stronger, deeper, more awakened. And that is the identity God wants you to carry forward. Not the identity shaped by past wounds, but the identity rooted in divine purpose. Your future is not built on who hurt you. It is built on who you became because of it. And the person you are now is ready for joy that does not disappear, ready for peace that cannot be stolen, ready for opportunities that align with your calling, ready for relationships that honor your spirit, ready for a life that reflects the truth of who you have always been. The days ahead will not mirror the days behind you. What drained you before will no longer touch you. What intimidated you before will no longer move you. What confused you before will now be understood with spiritual clarity. You are entering a chapter where your soul feels lighter, your intuition feels sharper, and your connection to God feels undeniable. You are walking into blessings that make sense only in hindsight, doors that open without resistance, and moments that confirm you were never forgotten, only prepared. And as God continues to lift you, remember this: your rise is not an accident, it is not luck, it is not coincidence. It is the fulfillment of a promise spoken over you long before you ever knew pain. A promise that your suffering would not be wasted. A promise that your tears would water the very ground of your breakthrough. A promise that no weapon formed against you would prosper because you were chosen for a mission larger than any attack against your life. So breathe in this moment. Let your soul settle into the truth. You are rising. You are protected. You are favored. You are chosen. And no force in existence can undo what God is doing in you now. And if your spirit feels this, if your heart knows this word is yours, declare it. Not softly, not timidly, but boldly, I receive it. Speak it as an affirmation of who you are becoming. Speak it as a confirmation of what God is releasing. Speak it as a seal over your destiny. And share this message so that someone else who is quietly breaking may feel heaven touch their spirit through your obedience. Your journey is shifting. Your identity is solidified. Your elevation is inevitable. Go forward now, not as the wounded version of yourself, not as the silenced version of yourself, but as the chosen one you were always meant to be. And may this truth echo in you long after these words fade. God is lifting you, guiding you, covering you, and preparing you for everything your soul has always known was coming. Walk in it, trust it, become it. Your time has come.